a great pleasure to be here. I want to thank the Herbert Foundation, Mrs. Herbert specifically, Marysia, for all their work on behalf of Herbert, not only in Poland, but internationally. And many thanks to the National Library for hosting this surprising to me conference. It's very heartening to see that scholars and writers of every generation are engaging with Herbert. I think I knew this, but it's nice to have it shown, performed, demonstrated to me so beautifully as it has been over the last couple of days. I'm going to read a very well-known poem. It's not one that I translated. It was translated by Czesław Miłosz and Peter Dale Scott. Apollo and Marsyas. I should say that I made one change in it after a great deal of hesitation. Central to this poem is a vowel which Herbert simply names as the samogłosek A. Miłosz and Scott, for some reason, turned this into a cry, a drawn-out line of A's. So when I when I was in the cockpit and had the power to do so, I went back to the original vowel A. Apollo and Marsyas. The real duel of Apollo with Marsyas, absolute ear versus immense range, takes place in the evening when, as we already know, the judges have awarded victory to the god. Bound tight to a tree, meticulously stripped of his skin, Marsyas howls. Before the howl reaches his tall ears, he reposes in the shadow of that howl. Shaken by a shudder of disgust, Apollo is cleaning his instrument. Only seemingly is the voice of Marsyas monotonous and composed of a single vowel, A. In reality, Marsyas relates the inexhaustible wealth of his body. Bald mountains of liver, white ravines of aliment, rustling forests of lung, sweet hillocks of muscle, joints, bile, blood, and shudders. The wintry wind of bone over the salt of memory. Shaken by a shudder of disgust, Apollo is cleaning his instrument. Now to the chorus is joined the backbone of Marsyas, in principle the same, A, only deeper, with the addition of rust. This is already beyond the endurance of the god with nerves of artificial fiber. Along a gravel path hedged with box, the victor departs, wondering whether out of Marsyas' howling there will not someday arise a new kind of art, let's say concrete. Suddenly, at his feet falls a petrified nightingale. He looks back and sees that the hair of the tree to which Marsyas was fastened is white completely. It's an honor to be translated by Renata Gorczynska, who explained my own poems to me. This first one has an epigraph. The speaker in it is a surgeon from the 16th century, a surgeon who made great progress in battlefield surgery, Ambroise Paré. The epigraph is Je le pensais, Dieu le guérit. I bandaged him, God healed him. Man of wounds. Yes, I believed in God and my hands. I believed in God and my hands and eyes. I believed in my eyes unhealing wounds dealt me by a God who cannot die. I believed what I saw on the battlefield, what a musket shot does under skin, what a hot iron does to the stump of a newly amputated limb. I believed in the pain dulling the eyes of soldiers treated with boiling oil. I tried them on onion juice and salt, on egg yolk, rose oil, and turpentine. I fought to stem the flow of blood with my crow's beak and silk thread, and in every man, be he levied or lord, I saw the image of my dying God. For some reason, another French epigraph. I was born in Amsterdam, where Descartes lived for many years. This poem is called Maison Descartes, which is the official name of his house now, which is visitable by the public. Je ne suis pas cet assemblage de membres que l'on appelle le corps humain. I am not that assembly of members that is called the human body. The lively blood, raising a subtle wind, swirls around the brain as waves lap the shore of a lonely island. A solitary bird perches on the pineal gland. Seated, it is body. Soaring, it is soul that sees and remembers. The rest is an instrument of pipes and holes, playing pianola roles in the drowned theater of the world. Salvage veuve. A quote from the highly unreliable newspaper, The Voice of Russia, from July 18, 2010. Divers investigating a shipwreck in the Baltic Sea have found several crates of Veuve Clicquot produced in the 18th century. They believe that they have stumbled upon the remains of a cargo ship that carried gifts to the Russian court of Catherine II from Louis XVI. No matter how far we sailed, French would be spoken there, spreading like scarlet fever or tendrils of morning glory, a syrupy drawl in the tropics, crisp in the northern tundra, chaste as a handmaiden's veil, and then knife-like, piratical in the service of revolution. Voltaire's serrated tongue plowed up the black earth for Rousseau to sow his seed, the crop of freedom, stand of reason, fed by the will, the new weed, unstoppable, by all but the toxic brand of enlightened ruler, fond of champagne and quick to kill. If thought was cruelly quelled, we still supplied frivolity aplenty in golden bottles, filled at a blushful source, turned gently at intervals, and hauled off to sea in crates bearing the widow's name. Fun and trade would prevail where war and words failed. We never found Russia. Our inadequate instruments and the volatility of oceans scuppered all our hopes. We tucked our delicate wares under cold Baltic waves, a gulp of salt, and then the comradeship of fish. Our veuve survived us. 2 centuries of tears washed over our grave, ages of war and waste, fine men turned foul, hot ideas cooling off froze millions of souls. Our lingua franca peeled away from the curved face of the overcultivated earth. Nothing spoiled the taste of our profound ruin. Once you've fished us up, you will find yourself back at the mouth of a cave, alive with echoes of bliss, a lake unmoved by time, intoxicated with itself, making your head swim. Thank you.